Evening to all. I deem it a great pleasure to welcome Dr. Ali Senasi, currently a senior lecturer at School of Government, College of Law, Government and International Studies, University, Uttara, Malaysia. She holds a Bachelor of Public Management with honors from University of Malaysia and Master of Public Administration from University of Malaya. Her area of interest are industrial relations, legislation, human management. She has completed her PhD in 2017 in Pengurusan Awam, UUM, University Uttar Malaya, and she has completed her Masters in 2010 in University Malaya. Her area of expertise are public policy and administration, other social sciences, and industrial relations. She has also published papers in various journals and international conferences. Now I welcome Dr. Valli Senasi to share her valuable views on the forum. I welcome you, ma'am.
Okay, so hi, very good evening, and also hi and hello everyone. I'm Dr. Valli Senasi. Today, I believe I'm in a sharing session. Yeah, I'm also in the learning process, so I'm here to share some knowledge about the writings, and I would like to thank a few important persons, which is of course Prof. Bala, my external examiner, and also my advisor, and very humble professor that I know so far. And also thank you to Dr. Frank, organizing and also inviting me for this session, and also Dr. Ganesan, and also all respected committee members in this international workshop, and also participants from other countries as well. Okay, today I think what we call the moderator just introduced about myself. Sorry for that. I have to, the line is very bad here due to the heavy rain until now. So I try to be in the line. And I hope the line is like, please, and also allow me to present until the end. So can you all hear my voice clearly?
Yes, crystal clear.
You are very much
Doctor, no
audible,
problem.
ma'am.
Thank you. And in this sharing session today, I would like to share something about the writing, which is close to my heart. And I believe most of you here is academicians and also might be postgraduate student, which is most important part of our work is writing. So I believe writing with power means you have some secret weapon or tools that we have to use in terms of presenting, in terms of writing a research paper, article, journal, and so on. So what is the process itself? Let me share with you the process of the writing. Okay, this is the situation. Actually, this is the slides that I use for my students to describe the scenario before we begin the process yet. It's happened to all of us, right? It's very hard to write. And since we carry on multiple roles in our family, in our jobs, and so on, and we do have so many other responsibilities as well, but sometimes it's very hard to even find a time to write. So you can see the scenario, the cartoon here. Sometimes we will like resistance is there. We will like took some time to write, and also sometimes you could write many proposals but end up just throwing to the bin. So what's actually going on? So, and actually it's lead to exhausting your deadline and also exhausting ourselves, right? Like most of us, what we are experiencing now. So to avoid these situations, if you know the technique, if you know the strategies of the process, so-called, you will not be in that situation like the pictures that I show you just now. So the process itself, we do have a kind of a 6 steps. If you look at the screen now, these are the writing process I would like to share. This is what I learned when I did my postgraduate studies in University of Alabama. So I'd like to share with all of you what's actually the process that we are going through and what will make us better in writing. The first one is about the plan or outline. Plan and outline is more like we're planning for a, let's say for example, we're planning for a trip. Okay, of course, in the pandemic now we can't go out, but just imagine you are planning for a trip. You will, of course, you want to write the date. You want to plan for the which weekend, is that a weekend or weekdays, is a school break and so on. So same goes to writing here. When we have to plan and outline, what are the tools that we need? What are the knowledge that we need, right? So the second one, more to draft or compose, which start to, even before writing, we have to draft it because we want to come out the ideas, right? Ideas to before even write the research paper or journal articles. And the third one, evaluate. So we evaluation is could be from the multiple perspective. It could be from your colleagues. It could be from superior. It's from the multiple angles. So the fourth one is revise and rewrite. We will look through these steps one by one. So I just go through. I mean, basically, yeah. And the following was editing or proofread. And I believe most of the academician will go through this process where you have to, although we are a language teacher or the language lecturer, but we somehow need someone else to read our writings so they can comment on the ideas, they comment on the contents better. And the last one, but not the least, is published. Of course, at the end of the writing, we want to publish. It doesn't matter where you want to publish. It could be newspaper, it could be research article, journal articles, or theses, and so on. So these are the steps which are one by one. Okay, plan or outline. As I did mention just now, plan and outline is a very important basic steps, the first steps in the writing process. So we will look through what actually we have to plan here in writing process. We had to determine the audience, purpose, and organization. If you come across any journal articles, any newspaper articles, and so on, we will find out there's an audience and also there's a purpose, objective of writing that particular content to where we actually wanted to reach. Is it the community? Is it the management? Is it our staffs and so on? So it depends on the first factor here is audience. Is it experts, students, bureaucrats, or public? Because my background in the public administrations, we are dealing more with the policies, national policies in Malaysia. So we are writing some of the journal articles specifically targeted to the bureaucrats and also for the public and to make necessary changes in the policy in Malaysia. So there are the what we call the audience of our writings. And the second one is the purpose, where we have to know the objective, as I did mention just now. Whether the purpose to find some new ideas or review the literature or to prove some of the mastery of knowledge practices, or we want to present in the conference and so on. There are many purposes. So we have to know which step we are and which level, which objective we are to in writing process. And the third the factors is on the organizations. are we able to recognize our outline? So as we know that in writing a journal article, especially, you have the outline is given by the editors, right? For example, you do have the introductions, you do have the method, you do have the results, and you do have the discussion, and of course conclusions. So it's kind of the format, that a neat format that will make the editors and also the publisher recognize our work and easily read through our format. Okay, so are these sections and paragraph in order? Are the logical storyline? This is very important, because when we are jump from the one paragraph to another paragraph, we do have to see whether we do have the logical storyline or the connections. So if we don't, means we have to change, make necessary changes. Okay, so the second one, to decide whether the format aspects as well, the length, the genre, the structural parts and subheads. This is more to the how you organize your contents in the journal article. And also the third one is to create a topical paragraph, which is generic to specific. If not mistaken, I believe Prof. Bala just now shared about the inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. That's some sort of topical paragraph as well, where you want to start with the general, go to the specific, or start with the specific, go to the general idea, which is talking about the theory and also the subheads about it. So that's the first steps, which is we have to plan or outline. Okay, the second step is draft or compose. And all of us, I believe, we are some sort of, might be a new beginners in some stage and might be expert by now, but time to time, we also in a learning process, when we want to write, don't look for the perfectionism, where if you want to see the structure of the sentence is right, the vocabulary is right, it's not going to happen anyway, but you have to start writing now and look at the perfectionism in the, I think it's in the step 5, which is editing and proofreading. Okay, so in now we have to find the motivation to draft the research paper or journal article. So draft first. We will look at the other formatting aspects later on. So what most draft compose? That draft sections by sections, paragraph by paragraph, starting with the section you know the best. What does it mean by the section you know the best? And I believe most of you here as academicians, we are having our own area of expertise. We believe we are the best, among the best in the expertise area. So you should find what we call the idea that that you think it's the best speaks about you, okay, and the ideas about you. So start from there, and you can draft it the paragraph from one by one from that sections, and write daily. This is what we are learning and in my postgraduate studies, as I did told you. This is what we do practice at that time, where we are write daily, and we write in the class that time. To at least enter the class, the first thing we will do is to write. My instructor will give like kind of just 1 or 2 words of title, just to write. It doesn't matter about vocab or your grammatical error and so on, just write. And at the end, I can even see the changes, okay, from we don't know what to write, but we actually a good writer at the end. So that's the important thing, how you want to make it a habit by writing daily. There's no shortcut. You have to write it. This is at least, it's not a compulsory, but if you have more time, you can go for that. And periodically, you have to check your productivity rates and also section deadlines. That's another important things about the dates as well, yeah. Okay, and the third step is about evaluate. And if you know, to evaluate, as I did mention, we do have a multiple parties or the in a different angle. So we will look at the what we should evaluate in the steps of writing. So let the text sit for 24 hours, then evaluate in manageable chunks, which is 5 to 10 pages. This is just a recommendations. This is especially this sentence means by, if you will write a text, let's say in a 1 page, you have to at least leave it for 1 day, because you have to read it again in the next day, maybe. Yeah, this is purely because we want to, if you read the text automatically after write, we will not find a fault of us. We don't find a grammatical error. We don't find, because we are the one write it, and when we read through it back, of course we will feel like, okay, that's I'm just doing the best of our mind. I think that's the best paragraph or the best sentence that I know so far. We all do that, you know. So that's the reason why we have to let the text sit. It's 24 hours. Yeah, it's just a recommendation, as I did say. Sometimes we can leave it for a few hours and we can come back and read through. And the best thing I will suggest, just ask help of our neighbors, our colleagues, and our, you know, someone that can facilitate us on writing, on reading our text. The comments from others are far, actually is helping us in our writing, rather than we are read through and we didn't realize our mistakes or the what we need to improve in our writings. So, and the second one, in evaluation, we have to focus on the contents. Does it ring true to your audience and also purpose? I did mention just now in the step 1 itself, in planning itself, we have to know the objective. And this, in this stage, we have to know whether we are really targeting on the our audience, our objective. Did we reach the audience? So this is the question that we have to answer by ourselves. Does it follow your outline and the author's guideline? Author's guideline is usually when you want to submit your paper to your journal or to the publishers, they will have their own guidelines. So we have to follow their guidelines. So the format might be different based on their what we call the right is always rewriting. This is what I always told my students, where if you want to write and just wait for the results, it's not going to happen in a minute, but it would took some time. But we, at least we learn our mistakes and we can improve our writings. So sometimes in revise and rewrite, we had to add, we had to delete, we had to reorganize, and have to get more feedback from the peers, friends, and critics. That's very important part. Don't be afraid to ask for the opinion of others, which is more we call superior or more seniors than hers. We don't afraid at all to ask their guidelines, and also their of course their comments, and also critics. Critics is very much important. And rethink and rewrite and also revise. That's the most important thing part as well, where we do have to think whether our idea is right at the time. Might be when we open the text back in the next day, we will find, okay, that's the another idea that's coming. I want to write about that idea, and so on. So we will every day, when we read through, especially when we're reading more books and journal articles, we will have more ideas in our mind. So there where we have to rethink, rewrite, and also revise our text, our paragraph, our articles, okay, that we written. And the best writing occurs actually in these steps. That's very important part. And this is the quotes that I like most, which is write with the door closed and rewrite with the door open. You have to open for criticism. That have to be, because if you want to someone praise us, that won't happen in writing. I think that's a give and take in all aspects of our life. Same to the writings, where we have to sometimes take the criticism positively and build a constructive mechanism where we can have a very good writing, what we call the seniors to help and the colleagues to help and so on. Ask their help, okay? As I did mention, that's the best things that we can do in our writing to improve our writing as well. Okay, the step 5 is editing or proofread. As you can see, editing is a proofread is actually is a very big components. Okay, it's about the vocabulary, it's about the grammar, it's about even pronunciations. So there are many other aspects. Even to write a sentence, it have to be follow many formats. So what we can do in help ourselves to be better versions in writing. So the first one is to read text aloud for clarity, cohesion, and pacing. This is true in terms of even we are practicing for our presentations. We have to even exercise our clarity, our language, our pronunciations. Same goes to writing. After write through, you have to read it aloud to ensure we are done our writing correctly. So even we can let others to write. As I did mention, to find a help, that's the most important things that you can do. If you have the helpers or the partners, you can ask their help to help you in writing as well. And the second one, focus on language, where correct, qualify, support, strengthen, tighten, and enhance and polish. This is especially on the language, where we have to not only write the language correctly, but we have to write it concisely, and we know how to synthesize the language itself. Sometimes too much of language written, even formal writings, it leads to boring or negative perspectives on the readers. So make it concise, make it in a short, what we call this short sentence, and it's readable by anyone. Okay, it could be communities, could be your colleagues, it could be the government parties and so on. Straightforward, correct, and also very concise. And the important parts here as well, especially in a proofreading, where you have to check your style, which is your writing style. Different person have a different style of writing. We could follow others, but somehow you will find that you will have the own style in writing. It is much easier, much understandable. So we have to know our style first before we even begin writing about it. And flow, presentation, usage, grammatical, punctuation, statistics, citations, and formatting. These are the other aspects that are very important in editing and proofreading steps. So you can look through that. Okay, the last but not least is publish. As I did mention, every writing process will end up in publish, unless your diary, of course, is secret. But in publishing, you have the presents at the conference, query editors, and also respond to peer review. I do have what we call the experience. We do have a receive 2 or 3 times of rejections as well, and also some of the auditors will ask us to improve our writing. You know, they will give us many comments on our writing and so on. For me, that's the best way we can get. If you didn't get the colleagues or friends to look through our writings, that's the best way, where you can send to the editor and you will get the comments from them, which is very valuable. We can use it to improve our writings. So the last steps here: to revise, edit proof again, and open acceptance email, and enjoy fame and fortune. I believe all of us here, we do have our own experience in terms of writing, in terms of presenting in a conference and so on. But through practice, of course, we can be a better writer. Okay. And thank you. I believe that's all from me. Thank you everyone for giving me a very good chance to talk about the writing process. As I did mention, I believe I'm in a sharing process, in a sharing sessions, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was a lucid presentation by you. And all your slides were illustrious. That the second slide that you shared would have had a deep impact on everyone, I think, where writing became a big task for everyone. That was a clear lecture given by you, short and sweet, precise section. If there is any question from participant side, you can post the question. Otherwise, you can directly interact with Pam.
Dr. Wali, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'll ask a question to Dr. Wali. Dr. Wali, how are
Yes.
you? I hope the line
I'm
is okay.
fine, Prof. How are you?
Okay, fine. Okay, Dr. Wali, I like your question. You said rejection. I think it's very painful situation. Am I right? When you
Yes,
submit your
yes.
paper and suddenly, how you manage that kind of mental? Because as you know, when we publish paper, when I went through the same thing also. That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking you, how what is advice to give? I think we both also went through one papers and then reject,
Yeah.
no reject
Yeah.
like reject a lot of comments. It take
Yes,
how
improvements.
1.5 years? Take 1.5 year until I think
Yes, exactly. It's
we
1.5 years. It's a
both,
scope paper. Yeah.
yeah, scopers. We both want to give up. Am I right? But you manage
Yes.
finally. So what is advice when you get a lot of rejection? Are you think we are not good, or what is advice? Thank you, doctor.
Thank you very much for the question, Prof. Personally, I would say to handle the rejections, we have to be mentally strong, first of all. And the first time I received rejections, I also felt sad, quite, of course, not happy, because we are the newest, right? So I believe I do have a motivation that I always look for the motivations where there must be something that we can do or we can improve. Okay, so usually the rejection, I will take it positively, as I did say it, and see what are the aspects we can improve. If the, for example, if the comments of the editors are from the in the what we call the methodology part, we should see whether we will return it correctly or we run through the data correctly. So we have to look again our weaknesses, whether that's our weaknesses or it solely have to depend on the publisher itself, right? So from that, actually, for your question, Prof, I usually take the rejections positively, where I think, never mind, maybe that's not my, what we call I never reached the style that's set up by the publisher, but why not? I'm trying improve it and see what was their reactions next. But of course, when I say reactions from them, it might be twice or maybe third time might be I can try as well, but not continuously, because as you know that in writing a journal article, we do have many choices where we can publish. So we can actually search for a better journals and also very qualified journals where when you can see they accept or not our articles. So that's usually what I do, but still, as I did mention, I'm still learning. And thank you very much for the question, Prof. Any other questions? I'm happy to
Yeah,
answer your questions.
yeah, ma'am. There is another question. Despite compliments given by the audience saying it as an informative session, there is yet another question posted by Ms. Chitra Hitesh. That is there any particular application that helps a researcher in writing? What I specific is proofreading application?
Okay. In writing, I never come across yet. Maybe might be there. That's apps on that. You know, we are in a very fast developed era in technology. For writing, usually I'm writing following the steps and process. But if you're asking about the what we call the proofreading or editing, I'll go for the apps called Grammarly. I believe audience might aware about that. And we do purchase, and we do gone through the in Grammarly. This app's actually giving us what we call the choice of vocab or grammar. So we can include that in our writing to make our sentences readable, and you know, it's very good strategy where we can use applied technology, use the technology to help in our writing. So that's the apps that I'm using so far. And in terms of writing, I think better we start with in a manual process. Once we know the process correctly, we can go for the advancement in the technology, I believe. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, ma'am. There is yet another question raised by Soheb Hassan. Qualitative research shows best results or quantitative research? Kindly explain your views.
Okay, let me get the question back.
Qualitative research shows best results or quantitative research shows best results? Kindly explain your views.
Okay, I think this could be a question that posed to Prof. Bala, because expert on qualitative, but when he asked me, I did a qualitative study as well, and as the quantitative study. But if the question asks which produced the best result, I would say both, because each what we call methodology has its own strength. So we could not compare between these two, because as Propala mentioned just now, qualitative more the aspects of describing, right? Describe like a storyline, so where you start and end, and why quantitative more to the numerical, where you had to present the data in number. And it will much be clear, of course, but I believe both of the methodology have own strength. Maybe Prof. Vala, do you want to add something on this?
Okay, Doctor, thanks. I think Dr. Wali, I think you use a mixed method, am I right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so I just a little bit share what, because I was an external examiner. So Dr. Wali actually talking about minimum wage problems in the electronic sector. And I think what she really paradigm, what they call is ontology is, she want to inquire from the employer, because she want to see holistic view. If we just using a quantitative method, she only know one way views that come from the employee. She found that as a bias, because the same time she want to know what is viewpoint from the employers, so that she used the qualitative, because employers you don't need to have big numbers. She selected few employers and she cross tab. This is interesting on the mixed method. She triangulated data between qualitative and quantitative, and the result tremendously very good for the policymaker. And she come up with a new model. That's why out of the few papers published in the Scopus journal accepted, because the result is both is important. But for me, it's not the methodology. For me, it's the issue, that problem that you raise in the research problem. Once your problem very clear, what you're going to achieve by the end of the day, then you go to the method to it. So there's no question that which one come best, like chicken, egg. Huh? You know where egg come from or chicken come from. That's not a question of that. Both is important. Egg and chicken is important. So that's what I think you have done in your research, Dr. Wali. You've done well. And
Thank you.
I mean, she done well in a PhD, and now she's a really growing scholar in Malaysia. I believe she will take over my place in future. I hope that.
Thank you so much for the compliment.
Thank you, sir, for elaborating the explanation of Dr. Valli. Any other question from participant side? Participants, you can directly ask, ma'am.
Yes, please, if you have any questions.
Doctor, one more question. What's the difference to writing a book? I think book and journal, two different things. So, and conference paper. So where you can differ these three things? I mean, with simple explanation. Sometimes we need to write books, am I right? Sometimes you need a conference paper, sometimes journal. So the three, where you distinguish this three? Dr. Wali, you listen to my question? Hello, Dr. Wali? Dr. Jody, she listening?
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Ma'am? Dr. Valli, ma'am? She is unmuted, but I don't think she listened to us, sir.
Oh, okay. Dr. Wali,
Ma'am?
I think line problem maybe. Dr.
Yeah,
Jody.
line
I think
problem.
so.
Still heavy rain.
Actually, she completed a session.
The camera has been turned off. Valli, ma'am? Shall we wait for her to join, sir?
Yeah, I'm calling her for a while.
Okay.
Dr. Jody, for a while.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
Dr. Jody,
Yes, sir.
she has a very bad weather now at the place,
Okay.
and she tried to come in. She said,
Oh.
otherwise it's okay. She tried to come in because cannot enter really now because the line problem. But
Oh.
anyway, she said it's okay. Then fine.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So now that we have any other questions, sir?
Yeah, you want to finish closing ready now?
Yes, sir. But
Okay.
Dr. Ganesh, yes,
Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. Jyoti, ma'am.
yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. I just invite Dr. Balakrishna Parasuraman,
Okay.
President MIRA, to say a few words about this FDP or give the valid address.
Can I turn on the video?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, it's actually heavy right now. Okay, thanks, Dr. Frank and Dr. Jody.
Thank you, sir.
So, okay, first of all, I think we come to the end. On behalf of the organizing committee, and Mirha, also part of your team, okay, Compran and also Lavender. I really appreciate the organizing committee, where you guys have done very excellent job for 7 days, 14 weeks. I think me and Dr. Ganesan also part of this team. He's a president for this, and Dr. Frank, I'm really thankful to you, and me and Dr. Ganesan was really thankful to you because you and your team, you're all young guys, young people, but you have turned this international workshop into the what they call world class. I can say world class because I attended many conferences in the world, not only one. All of the world attended, and this is really fantastic. I think I got my student here, Albert, Anthony. They all came from day one until now, and I think me and Dr. Ganesan also here. Really thanks Dr. Ganesan, who also man behind moving the whole what do you call the whole scenario, right, on the research method. And moreover, we all Indian. We are born in Malaysia. We are Indian Malaysian, and I really thank to Dr. Frank and the committee member that you brought us the connectivity between Malaysia and India. I believe we in Malaysia we never feel we are Indian. We are Malaysian, okay? We're Malaysian. But the good thing that actually, Dr. Frank, many of scholars actually looking at the China, Korea, Taiwan, and Singapore. There are few people looking at the. I think Dr. Ganesan agree with me. Many few people, scholars looking at the India as one of the big opportunity actually. So you make it happen, the connectivity, and of course Indonesia. I see a lot of Indonesians are coming here, and if we work together with India, Malaysia, and Indonesia, of course Singapore will come join later with us, and I believe this is going to be a really superb and excellent in international level. And I think our paper that we discuss here, I already told Dr. Frank, probably we collect all the papers that we discuss here, we make it as a book, and maybe it can be one publication. And again, once a time, on behalf of the committee members, because Mirha is actually the baby born because me and Dr. Ganesan. And also Anthony, Albert, we're going to be next our key leader. I really welcome all of you to Malaysia. Please come and visit us anytime you are here, and we can make things happen. The same thing, we also plan to visit India after COVID-19, and Dr. Ganesan.
Yes, sure, bro.
There to meet these people, and I think that is how the world become in one big family. Here we got the Malays, we got the Sabahan, the Albert talking totally different language. We don't understand. I think Dr. Ganesan know Sarawakian.
Yes.
In India, a lot of language. India, I was stuck in New Delhi last time. Oh, luckily I can speak 1 or 2 words. I survived, but nobody disturbed me because I'm the same face. What? So I survived. But Anthony, Albert, there you are suffering because they think you are different species, huh? But we are in the one species. So I am enjoying India. I like the movie, and I like all the Bollywood star, Dr. Ganesan, Bollywood star, Rajinikanth, all these our big stars. And I think I give the few words to Dr. Ganesan. You maybe say a few words, Doctor.
Yeah, okay, Prof. Thank you very much for your closing speech, especially for Lavender Literary Club, Cape Comorin, and also the other organizer, Kalasalingam Institute of Education, and also Dr. Frank was the key person for this wonderful event for this faculty development program, and also Mirha, Malaysian Industrial Relations and Malaysian Industrial Relations and Human Resource Association, and Prof. Bala as president, and I'm we are the co-founders of the association last year, but nothing much can be done because of COVID-19. Anyway, I would like to thank all the participants from the first day, starting from the first day, Monday, because average I can see the participants around 70, 80, 60 of them. Right now we are 61 of us still waiting until to finish. Okay, anyway, thanks Dr. Frank, because this kind of program like what Prof. Bala said, should be continued further in the future because it's an academic program, okay? Whatever academic program, regardless of whatever topic, I think that should be done as what we are doing now by Lavender and also Cape Comorin Trust. Keep on doing every month, and next month we have an international virtual conference on in humanities, social science, and education. And after that, I think we have, Dr. Frank told me going to have a short course for teachers and so on. So good academic program, and we can connect, as Prof. Bala said, collaborate with each other from other countries like Malaysia, India. Now we are collaborating in a very wonderful way, okay, very effective. And also I can see day before yesterday, speaker from Indonesia. Okay, the other conference coming up will be have a collaboration with Indonesian universities. This is good in the academic field. And this topic, research, is a very good topic for all researchers, either they are PhD students, master students, or research scholars like us, to upgrade our knowledge, to improve our knowledge, to get more new information on research and so on. Thank you very much for the organizer, the chairperson today, and every one of you. Thank you very much. See you all maybe next month in the International Virtual Conference. All right. Thank you very much. And I'm just waiting for 3 o'clock a.m. Malaysian time tomorrow morning to watch Euro final, Italy versus England. After this, I have to go and sleep and wake up at 3 o'clock morning. Malaysian time. All right. Albert, jangan lupa ya tengok bola.
Ya, England.
Oh, bagus. Kita support England. Kita punya kolonial dulu kan. Okay, tak apa. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for all the participants, especially the chairperson for today. And I think you all done very good job. Those already come the day one, I didn't know. You all are superstar, I can say. And, thank you very much. Good night. Dr.
Thank
Frank,
you for your
Dr.
beautiful words, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Jody. You also done a very good job. Dr. Wali
Thank you,
just
sir.
with us. She said she's sorry, but she really enjoyed together with you all.
Okay.
Okay.
Now I seize this time to thank each and every one of each and everyone who contributed a lot for the successful conduct of this 7-day FDP. This is the right time that we have reached the closure of the 7-day International Virtual Faculty Development on Research Design and Research Proposal Writing. At the outset, I would like to thank all the resource persons from day one, Dr. S. Vijaykumar, Dr. S. Bharati, Dr. Shobana, Dr. P. Harshini, Dr. Aravindan Logeshwaran, Dr. Neraya Radwan, Dr. Sabaridharan, Dr. Sita Ramalu, Dorian Kartika Vanki, Dr. Madan, Dr. Ganesan, Dr. Sadakul Amin, Dr. Vali Senasi, Professor Dr. Balakrishnan, for their valuable time being spent for all these 7 days amidst their hectic schedule. We thank you at the in-depth of the heart for having shared your abundant resources for the enlightenment of all the audience. I also thank the organizers, Department of English, Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education, Malaysian Industrial Relations and Human Resource Association Malaysia, Cape Comorin Trust India, and Lavender Literary Club India for having conducted this 7-day faculty development program with all their efforts to bring out with all its grandeur. Last but not the least, I thank each and every audience participants who have made their presence in order to make this FDP a grand success. Hope I have not missed anyone. If at all so, I feel sorry that I mean it that I thank each and everyone who have made this FDP a successful one. Thank you so much.